All right, we're here today with the most awkward hug ever. We've got Marcus Carey and the awkward hug captain. I want to interview you guys a little bit, and I want to talk about specifically your vision for the future. We've got two industry tech leaders here. Thank you, by the way, for today, putting this together. Thank you for speaking. But we were talking about innovation. You guys asked everybody else what's coming in 5 years. I want to ask you guys what's coming in 5 years. Let's get a glimpse into your psyche. Jason, you want to start?
Yeah, I would say there'll be, there's not going to be as much AI as people are thinking. I think there'll be more human representation. It's like we need to start securing the human more than, just adding more blinking boxes to the situation.
I think enterprise security is going to be going away. I think that since everything's going to be in the cloud, Microsoft, Google, Apple's probably going to have a cloud play. Amazon's going to probably do a hard cloud play as far as enterprise applications go. Salesforce is going to be a player, of course. So I think everything's going to the cloud, and that's going to be the difference.
What do you guys think is happening to the future of human data as we look at defense mechanisms and defending not just an organization, but defending the individual? What are some of the cool things we're going to see there over the next 5, maybe 10 years on that one?
Burner identities.
Yeah?
It's like, you have like a whole address, like you'll have to get a whole burner family, burner house, and it's like, no.
Maybe.
No, I think people are gonna understand that. It's like, I think encryption is gonna be more involved, and people are gonna be more understanding of what they're broadcasting out. It's like, because I don't think privacy is being stolen as much as it's being given away. It's like, so I think people are going to start understanding that it's like, this is what they're giving away. It's like when they start realizing what they're giving, they may actually start folding it back in.
Interesting.
I think to piggyback on it a little bit, some of the stuff that people do is, the people trying to sell humans things are looking at, buying habits, techniques, just like web pages. So I think that what's going to happen is companies are already trying to monetize stuff like your buying habits, working with banks and credit card companies. Also, I think that on the social media aspect, there's a lot of people already trying to figure out your personality types and how you can sell and also based on the personality stuff. I see it. Yeah, totally. So basically, just by you speaking on Twitter, you're going to understand your personality.
Right. 100%. So essentially, targeted phishing becomes even more targeted. Based upon what you've shared.
Well, I'm doing that now, yeah. So yes.
Let me target phishing on a whole next level, understanding your personality.
Right.
Like, okay, cool, Marcus, and if I'm going to sell to somebody, the best salesperson to do is pair this person up with this personality type. It's like down to that level.
Right. It's like if I give Marcus this discount here, I know he's connected to these other people, and these people are in these price brackets, and they would be more likely to go and buy our product too, based on his recommendation.
Interesting.
So therefore, I will be able to give him and make him the salesperson for us without him even realizing it. It's like that kind of manipulation.
Or Marcus bought a product, we're going to recommend all Marcus's friends buy the products, stuff like that.
So is it not root motivation of what we're trying to get to, like why we do what we do and using that as a defense mechanism for the individual in the future? Like if I know that about you and I know this about you, specifically, can that not be turned in for good?
Oh, certainly.
Pattern recognition.
Everything.
Yeah.
I think everything is a tool. And
yeah.
So I think
every sword is double-edged. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Double-edged. Everything can be used as a, everything's a blessing or a curse.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right, let's wrap this up. So, what does Threatcare do, and what's the future of your company? Because you guys are doing big things here in Austin.
So, what we're trying to do is trying to help people get secure and stay secure.
Period. I like it. Jason, you're a social engineering expert, one of the leaders on the planet. What do you see in your future for the next 5 years? What are you going to be doing to disrupt the markets?
I'm not going to disrupt markets. I just want to help people. It's like I'll be doing security awareness engagements. I'll be trying to secure the human, and that's a passion more than a profession. So yeah.
Well, Jason Street, thanks for speaking today. It was wonderful. Marcus, thanks for hosting today. All right, we're here today with JT Wells with Risk IQ.
What's up?
We're going to do a quick couple of questions and see what the man here thinks. We've got one of the leaders in regard to, I think, critical marketing threats, essentially, is where I put you in my brain. You knows a lot about the attacks that come from the advertising side of the world. So with that in mind, what do you think we're going to see in the next 5 years? What's interesting? What's going to be happening?
I do believe that the data that is aggregated through advertising is going to continuously be used in good ways, but also in bad ways, because it's just such a treasure trove of data all of the telemetry that is gathered from all that information, all of the stuff that we share in social media, all of the information that is troved out of our publicly cloud-hosted, email accounts and things like that. Those are also things that can be harvested by bad actors and malicious entities. So, anything that we can use for good can be used against us for evil.
So is that like you against you?
Yeah, I like that term. That phrase is kind of like we're a danger to ourselves, and recognizing what information and curating what information that we allow to get out into the world, I think is really crucial for not just individuals but companies as well. If you wanted to footprint or do some recon on a company, look at their job listings. You can find out what sort of tech stack that they're working with, or maybe what direction that they're going in as far as research and development. So there could be all kinds of ways that you're sharing that information out via social media platforms, job platforms, things like that. Those kinds of things are going to be leveraged against us either as individuals or as companies in the near-term future.
So that was huge, and I think that summates basically human risk is the future of some of the things that we're not really looking at. There's a lot of technical risks, but how do we look at the human layer and really start building defenses around the human component? Yeah?
Indeed.
Very interesting. Thank you for your time, JT. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Greg.
That was like the ultimate selfie stick.
Well, we're here today with Matt Tesaro and Dan Cornell. Wanted to bring back some of the original gangsters of security in Central Texas. And we just had a really interesting session around the future, the next 5 years of what's going to be changing. And Matt gave a really interesting automation example, but can you dive into that a little bit more, Matt?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that everyone's talking about how the industry's not have enough people. We can't bring enough people into sort of the industry pipeline to fill in seats. So how do you answer that? You can't hire more, or you just are ending up continually shuffling chairs by stealing people from other companies. Well, why not automate and do what I tried to do when I've done automation is take the things that require a human brain, leave those out, but all the stupid things around doing security assessments. Or I'm an AppSec guy, so my domain was application security. Handing off the creds and the URLs, getting the role set up, like setting up the repo in static analysis, that's dumb work. You can automate that stuff. And then let the people actually look at the results, find out the impact, and do the things that take the human brain. Like, why is your high-end security resource spending time typing in values in a scanner? Like, that's
So basically all tier 1 activities ought to be automated in the next phase of growth.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Dan Cornell, you're in the code all the time. What are you seeing, my friend?
I think what people think of as assessments are going to be changing quite a bit. It used to be with the network, blast, mess this around and see what comes out, or with a web application, throw app scan or web inspect at it and see what comes out. But now what we're seeing with these cloud native applications is it's a combination of the code that you're writing that is unique, the components that sits on top of the compute, the VMs or containers, whatever around that, and then the cloud configuration. That all of that gets wrapped up in it. And so I think when that's really changing, at least for us when we work in organizations, when somebody asks about the security of the system, you've got to take a step back and look at all those aspects and how they're synthesized before you can provide a real risk picture.
So that sounds like a holistic threat modeling strategy, not just individual elements of threat modeling, but putting together a holistic strategy for threat modeling, and kind of like voting in Texas earlier and often, huh?
Exactly.
All right.
Very much.
I really like these guys a lot. I've worked with both these guys in my career, and they are certainly experts. Thank you for the time, gentlemen.
Absolutely, anytime.
All right, today we're here in downtown Austin with the talented Lee Karsten from Aon. How are you doing, Lee?
You're doing great.
Thank you for letting me interview you a little bit here today. So Aon's a huge company. You guys are a known quantity. You're on the Strauss-Friedberg side of the house.
Right.
One of the questions I have for you today is, what's going on that's innovative in your company? What are you guys working on that's really cool?
So from my perspective, coming from the legacy cybersecurity side, some of the quantification work that we're able to do now, for like leveraging 30 years of Aon's quantification on like the non-cyber perils, so hurricanes and floods and fires, taking some of that P&C DNA and applying it to cybersecurity is one of the more interesting places that we're...
Define PNC.
So property and casualty.
Okay, so looking at the bigger picture perspective, so how do you guys bleed over into what you do for cyber?
So Cyber Solutions is a business unit inside of the Aon Risk Solutions group. And Cyber Solutions includes the quantification group, cyber broking, and then the legacy Strauss-Friedberg, which is assessments, testing, and lots of forensics and incident response work.
Perfect. You guys are huge. I mean, I know a lot about you because I've talked with you several
Right.
times, and I know a bunch of the folks there. But so as you look at what the future in the insurance industry is going to be over the next maybe 5 years or so, what do you think is going to happen here as it applies to cyber?
So the insurance industry is relatively static, and cyber is one of the growth areas for everybody. So it is like the boom is on. Cyber has justified and is an actual thing. There's over 75 carriers that are writing policies today. There's enough claims data that we can start, providing real information about the claims and the claims process and what's working and what's not. And the forms are getting better, and the questions that the insurers are asking are improving, so that cybersecurity professionals are getting credit for their programs. So if they're doing something that mitigates risk,
Yes.
that they're getting credit for that in the application, and we're even starting to see that in like the premium and the placement process.
That's fascinating. So as we look at the innovation that we're seeing in the sector, we're here at the Threatcare Summit today in downtown Austin, and Marcus and his team have done a great job. And as we look at what they're doing and some of the questions we were talking about with innovation, outside of what Aon is up to, what's interesting? What's going to be the next 5 years of innovation?
I think deception is like one of the coolest places where I've seen, because like anything on the dashboard is either it's a bad insider, or somebody tripped over something, or it's an attack.
So deception technologies essentially is your play?
You said, what have I seen that's interesting?
Yeah.
That's the most interesting thing I've seen.
Would you invest in those types of technologies?
Yeah, I think that is going to, it takes a new approach to cybersecurity that we haven't had in the past, and like continuing to like do all the same stuff we've been doing.
It's just not working.
Yeah, it has like the problem isn't necessarily getting better, but I think it's part of a holistic program, like having the tripwires of the world to like.
There's your plug, Tripwire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to have that in there, and really machine learning is getting better.
It is.
And it's not just a single honeypot anymore, but like replicated environments are real, and there's some really cool work happening in that space.
I totally agree with you. Thank you for your time today, Lee.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
thanks.
Good to see you, buddy.
All right.
Cheers. By the way, the quote is, the boom is on. The boom is on.